more time here in the main straight. The fireworks off the front yet again. Put your hands together for the 24 drivers about to take part in this time-honoured event, the West Australian title for sprint cars.
Here we go. 35 laps underway. James McFadden got really close to the bike track on the start. Jamie Veal got a real good start. And Inglis rounds around the outside, but contact further back. And there are a few cars involved. One of them is Dane Kingshot. One seems to be Brad Mayolo.
It looks like it started with Jamie Veal. Talk us through it, boys. It was absolutely everywhere.
So Veal and Inglis getting really close. Veal spins, and that's sort of, there's no touch from any of Veal and Picton, but then Picton is sort of forced to take cover, and that means that Picton's in strife. It means that Kingshot is one. The 77 of Bradley Mayolo is the other.
Jamie Mayolo's APB number 99 also had damage to the Jacobs ladder, which its key job is to keep the rear end of the car centered on the chassis. If that's not in a good condition, then the car...
And here we go once again. Inglis fires around the outside. That's a cracking start. Meanwhile,
he's over.
Chris Coyle has spun. He is over. He's managed to get himself back on four wheels, but that is a nasty incident down the front straight.
He throws out his steering wheel, and he is very, very agitated.
Over his life, because that red means that TD can, the team can keep working on the number 19 to try and get him back in this race.
Here, there was a lot of buffeting going on before this happened. Here we go, bang, bang, bang. And he was fourth in line. Then he got clipped.
Well, it was Milling at the start who was also, like, coming out of Mobile 1 turn number 4. He was very skew-if coming into the front straight. If we can see that first replay again, you'll see it at the very start of it. Round 4, WA Sprintcar Title. Away we go. Sluggish start there from James McFadden. It allows James Inglis to fly out of the start. And Brad Mayolo's very close here to McFadden. Further back, Kendrick's trying to find a gap on the concrete there out of turn number 2, and also now switches onto the inside right up against David Priolo. Boy, that was a ballsy move there from Jason Kendrick, but he made it stick, and he gets himself into 5th spot right now. It's Inglis who leads from James McFadden, Brad Mayolo, then back to Taylor Milling, Jason Kendrick, and then it is David Priolo. How about Luke Oldfield? He's right up into contention. He's in the top 7.
Well, I tell you what, they're going to be in lap traffic after about 4 or 5 laps, and out goes Satori. So he has succumbed already after only a couple of laps. And into the fence, and a couple no. They didn't go into the tail. They're away, and it is James Inglis from James McFadden, the two Jameses, doing it nicely right now. Now then we get back into the field, and Kendrick gets Milling. Milling gets him back. They headed towards turn number 3 as they come into the main straight. That's 3 laps down. Out of 4 they come. And Kendrick and Milling. Oh no, we've got 4 cars, and McFadden miraculously gets past the 2 again. And unfortunately for AJ Nash, the work that they did
before the race even got started.
There's a saying in WWE, in wrestling, in professional wrestling, things like, you know, do not concern yourself with things that do not concern you. And unfortunately, a lot of drivers have been involved in incidents that do not concern them and have been caught up in a lot of incidents.
The lap yet, because every time they almost look like they're going to complete one, something else happens. They're all getting pretty tight here, and about 3rd, 4th, 5th, and the change in the front as the lead has changed, and it is going to now be whether we can see Inglis fight back, or he has fought back. He's taken over. 2nd place goes to McFadden as they've got 3 down. Then we go back to Bradley Mayolo. He's been driving well lately. Jason Kendrick is 4th. Jason Pride is 5th. 6th place is
McFadden, Brad Mayolo, and Jason Kendrick still close. Kendrick goes on the inside of Mayolo. Momentarily takes 3rd. Will he make it stick down the back straight? He does. And now he finds himself on a podium spot. Inglis, though, out in front, but maybe Kendrick's on a bit of a charge.
So Milling just had a contact with the wall. He lost a couple of spots back in the mid-pack. Not going forward. The 17 car in Jamie Veal. He's still in 11th place right now as we go back to the front of the race, and it is Inglis still leading the way. But I tell you what, Kendrick, he's closing in on James McFadden. He tries a slide job here on turn number 2, and he got in front, but then coming coming back was McFadden. Inglis, meantime, skips a little bit further in front as he comes into the main straight. 8 laps complete.
James Inglis leads and he has a handy buffer. 2 seconds the advantage at the moment as the slide jobs continue between Kendrick and McFadden for second and third. Down into the Teddy, Granny Flats and Modular Homes turn. There's about 15-20 metres between first and second. Inglis is going to dive to the inside. McFadden decides to stay up high, keeps this in momentum. They run down the main straight and here comes that momentum. He dives to the inside and takes the lead.
0.4 of a second it was before that lap as Inglis fights back. They are side by side down the Triple M back straight. There is not much between them. McFadden dives again on the inside. This time he takes the lead and J-Mac holds on. So it is James McFadden who leads from James Inglis. Jason Kendrick closing. Meanwhile, huge incident with Ryan Lancaster spinning and going over for a moment. He is now back on 4 wheels, but Ryan Lancaster has had another incident.
16 laps down. 35 is how many we need to decide who wins the title. James Inglis skips out to a pretty good lead to start. He's got an absolute flyer and he's challenging the others to wind and grind him down. Get down now. Tell you what, this was a much better start by McFadden. He's right on the tailpipe and he goes shooting to the race lead, or does he? Fighting back on the high line. Now cutting in underneath is Inglis. Inglis and McFadden side by side. McFadden has the power and the speed and the guile and the technique to take the race lead on lap 18.
Yeah, masterful move there by James McFadden as we finally passed the halfway mark. 18 down and 17 to go. Inglis is not letting him get away, and McFadden is just having to weave underneath the Friolo, and Inglis follows him through as we get up to 9 laps to go.
James Inglis has got the big reel out now and trying to get James McFadden, but he's just being tested at the moment by the 8 car of Andrew Priolo, who's making tough work for him, and now that gap has gotten back out to 1.4 seconds ahead of James McFadden. James Inglis is closing. He took out about 9/10 of a second that lap, and he is starting to reel him in. James Inglis, he's got one last chance to throw everything at James McFadden with the traffic ahead of him. White flag is out in the WA Sprintcar Title of 2023. James McFadden holds the lead. James Inglis is trying everything. Surely J-Mac has got enough in the tank. He's got 2 turns to go. He's won a lot of big titles. He hasn't won anything like this in the way it's been. James McFadden, what a win. James Inglis takes second. Jason Kendrick third. And fourth goes the way of Bradley Mayolo, swinging into the front straight now to take fourth. He's the champion in WA. He gets to the top of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for J-Mac, the WA Sprint Car Title winner of 2023.